We'll see if it works out for them. They're starting on that CT side to get us underway into Katowice groups.
Every time I commentate a match with Nico in, he does great things with Desert Eagles. So let's see if that happens later today. But there'll be no Deagles in this pistol round. He's got a P250 though, and a lot of utility as well. Have a look at this burst from G2. How good will it go? How far will it go? Well, they'll make it into the bomb site with 2 frags and a bomb lance just around the corner. Looks like there'll be 2 players flanking towards Dark for Big. 3 versus 4 retake attempt. Crimbo has a defuse kit, 2 flashes as well, but there are many G2 players to find. See JKS now. Oh, that was... Oh, tabseN's going to rue that one. That leaves Crimbo in a 1 versus 4. Disaster early for Big on this retake attempt. Takes one in the face, and he might just go to save his...
Don't give him the ace.
Kit at this point. I don't know.
Oh, he gives him the ace.
Nasty. JKS with all 5 in the pistol round. Well, that's a great way to start things off.
Look at a smile on his face already. G2 looking very relaxed coming into this one. And with good reason. G2's recent form, as pointed out by the desk, has been incredible. 7 series wins, and they only lost 1 map in any of those recent series. So many 2-0s for this team. And I'm really glad to see it. I think this G2 squad have really found their own, found their footing. It's not an easy opening game for Big, but they themselves did pretty damn well in the play-in. Only lost 1 map against Furia, making it to this point. But G2 definitely solid favorites here. A team that you would be expecting to make it to playoffs. Oh, there's a stack round the corner. Big always with a trick up their sleeve. It's making this round a little interesting. HooXi trying to clean up. It's back to a 1v1.
tabseN's got a bomb and a rifle. JKS is in a horrible position, but if you use that HE, it could all end early. Well, this is awkward indeed. Very awkward. JKS was on the shelf for such a long time, it felt like, considering his prowess as an individual. Saw glimpses of that in that pistol round. Definitely came into this one firing on all cylinders. tabseN will use the sound cue, but JKS is aware. Oh, I think he may have been seen by tabseN. Indeed, I'm pretty sure he has been.
Does tabseN flank or just try and hold the gap? I think he has to go for the flank.
Will the timing work out? I think it might do. Oh, JKS, the timing! He turns around. The 6th sense just in time. Wow. That was a very nervous indeed. I think that's the last time they don't Molotov that position.
Yeah, I love that Big have something planned for this round. I didn't expect them to be able to run down these players so soon, and especially once these fights come through at range. That's when I thought we might see a cleanup from the rifles, but they did really well. And tabseN still got a smile on his face. I mean, when you're on a full USP round and you bring it that close, that's about as happy as you can be in a round loss.
Pure entertainment for Big in that round. Makes life a little easier on their first buy round here as well. You can see the favoring of the silenced M4s. The Big clan. He showed a 1 difference maker. Got to be careful though as he deploys some grenades. Tries to hold on to Dark, but that's not going to happen. m0NESY and tabseN will be lost early as G2 are really harassing this bomb site. Bomb needs to be collected though, and they are losing players as they continue to poke and prod. Kiso knows there are 2, but he'll fall to the first one. HooXi and JKS combining to take the bomb site. Bomb's on the way as well.
Yeah, bomb will take a little bit of time, so Big might have the ability to get in position, maybe wait out these smokes. In fact, the bomb is taking a fair while to get planted. syrsoN will now investigate. It is being planted on the safe side of the obelisk, though. The double swing about to come through. Well coordinated between JKS and HooXi. And Crimbo is a player who's normally very good in clutches, but I think this one might be too far gone. He might even get flanked here. HooXi's pushing around the backside. No easy escape path.
Yeah, not much for Crimbo to do here. Hiding in plain sight, essentially. Maybe waiting for something to come his way after the explosion. But G2 off to the races at the beginning of Anubis. And I think everybody agreed that Big had to try and do something with the map pool. You look at the history between these 2 squads, and they're still trying to find a solution to G2. And perhaps Anubis is it. 3-0 for G2. See what Big choose to do here. 3,000 for most of their players, so this will be an awkward one.
These teams played so recently at Blast. You can understand the decision to switch things up for Big. They lost 2-0, but they had at least a somewhat competitive series against G2. I think Crimbo was trying to stick around to maybe do some damage there, considering G2 lost a lot of casualties against the Eco previously. I think we have a quick tech pause on our hands, so the players won't be able to talk to each other. Good start for G2 though. I think HooXi has been definitely heavily discussed. He's not a great fragger as an in-game leader, but he's been stepping up a bit recently. And he's also someone who's very happy to go in first, which is always a good sign. If you're not going to frag, at least allow your teammates to trade you.
Just before this game, we were cycling through various Molotov throws as well. But that was a lucky escape for G2. They can learn from it for next time without it causing too much pain. So I think Mirage is one of those maps where Big come closest to besting G2, and that might be seen later as a decider. syrsoN's definitely a great sniper to watch demos of, especially on Mirage. Got some really nice pop flashes off the wall towards connector and such, but maybe we'll get there later on. For now, they're looking for their first round on Anubis. The 5-7s will be out, so they're buying some bits and bobs. They've got some smokes. They can try to delay G2 into making some errors, like the early grenades from G2. In case of a funky push fast from Big, they'll have the hero M4 in this round in the hands of Crimbo. Early smoke down from T-Spawn. Ito trying, he's waiting for the reload here to go for a push, or is he? No, chooses to fall back instead. There's action elsewhere around that B-bomb site. Maybe pulling him away.
Solid spray from Hunter towards mid. Looks he's actually alone down towards that sewer position, but will be doing a fine job with his MAC-10. Aggression will work out, but now we'll see if G2 decide to try and pounce on this B-bomb site. They're still playing patiently for now. Plenty of time left on the clock. Oh, Faven, very lucky to be alive there. A single point of health.
Plenty of time for G2, but Crimbo could be instrumental. Slowly making their way towards BG2, but we do have a look at around that mid position.
Wow, the spawn flank is... It's a nice try, but m0NESY's actually watching.
That's the bomb lost for the time being. I don't know if his rotation can be heard by JKS. It looks like it might be the way he's facing with his crosshair.
But now Hunter's big flank in the B site. He's in CT spawn right now.
Now this time is getting kind of weird, but it also depends on Big's rotation. If they make their way towards Dark, then things could be very interesting indeed. And, well, there goes the rifle in the hands of Crimbo. That will change everything. And it looks like the clean sheet will remain for G2. Do not expect much of Faven when he can hold on to his Kevlar. But he might try and fish for something anyway. A rifle, perhaps. I don't see him surviving that bomb blast if he's close, though. So, again, this was a half buy for Big. Managed to get 2 kills from it. And now comes their full buy.
I think you can see why Big have gone for Anubis as an attempted switch up in this series. You can see some of these low buys already getting a little wild. And that's really what Big need to make happen in this series. Make G2 uncomfortable with some of these awkward flanks and extremities of the map. That's looking good with his shades.
It's always the guy with the moustache, isn't it? That massive moustache. Gonna have nightmares about that. Let's see how this one is different then. Not sure if it was G2 or Big who threw a smoke there early in the round prior. Nothing doing on this occasion though. Many a grenade can be thrown from where JKS is. Of course, he can keep the CTs honest as well. Can molly the CT side of mid from there. Well, both teams holding on to a lot of their utility at present. So this may be a late round. Some double peeks coming in from HooXi and Nico. Faven needs to be very, very careful indeed. Oh, Kito's back showing as well. Might not be the sharpest Anubis just yet. but faveN will get the initial kill. Here comes the swing now. Needs help from his teammate. There it is. The trade might be enough. Hunter's not making his way in just yet, but he has taken down tabseN.
They've also got JKS coming in from below. It's going to make it awkward, but faveN isolates another fight. Now G2 need to find their way in, finally finding that opener. A smoke drop should allow that bomb plant to be attempted. And there's no nades for Big, but they're still going to try and push the site.
Great flick from syrsoN, makes it a 2 versus 1. Hunter needs headshots. He is solo in the smoke, and Crimbo will find him first. Big find their first round on the board.
tabseN just making sure that they remain calm. These rounds are a little chaotic right now, but I think Big are happy with how that one played out. The initial B hold looked like it could have been dicey, but I think faveN did a solid job at being able to isolate a couple of those fights. You can see that Keto seems to be the initial man taking contact, and I think faveN will be set up as the star rifler on that site. And that's what Big need from faveN. That's what he's really been brought into the team to be. They want him to turn into a star player, so nice to see some impact from him. As for G2, they still have plenty of money for the buy in this one. They've had a pretty good start on their T side. Even that round was clearly competitive.
I think G2 saw a lot of opportunity towards the B bomb site with the angles that were being held by the CTs, how they were rotating around. They were showing a lot of skin.
It's so cool.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see G2 head there later on.
Double nades chucked onto m0NESY there. A common position for the AWP to hold down towards canals, and they just bombarded him. He's down to 5 health without seeing anyone. syrsoN's definitely an AWPer who's willing to play alone. We're going to see that here, alone at mid. He gets the opener, but he's trapped by the flames.
Oh, he's missed a second flick. He had another 1v1, but won't win it. Hoopsie just jumping in for the cause. Now tabseN, things will get awkward for him, and soon that smoke will be gone. How do Big respond? This control is getting somewhat uncomfortable now. Things are starting to move pretty quick. NiKo won't spot a second one just yet, but he can pull his gun out just in time, or can he? tabseN and Crimbo will collect the bomb now on their side of mid. Slight advantage, very tense action in round 6, but there's more to come.
HooXi making noise. 34 seconds, and JKS is still flanking through A, so HooXi tries to go alone. And now JKS will be traded. Good rotation from Big, and they're starting to get themselves in the mood here on Anubis. I think syrsoN there, solo holding mid, did enough on the 1-for-1, and then Big rotate a couple of riflers into that position. A really cool way to play this round. You have the advanced mid player, and then you have a couple of players who can rotate quickly. And that's the other thing about Big. You have to always be aware that this team are always coming up with new nades, always coming up with new ideas. They almost got the opener in that round, straight up from a couple of nades on towards m0NESY.
Lots of volume in the Hall of Heroes early today. Love to see it. I'm sure that will continue as these teams get the best of each other. Big opportunity for syrsoN there. But his team are able to fight back. And that was huge once they dropped the bomb in that position. That forced the hand of G2 and put them in a position now where they find themselves on a force buy. 2 Galils and some pistols. NiKo has a deagle, one must note. We will see if he's able to do anything with it. They seem to be focused towards the A-bomb site right now. Again, looking forward to seeing if they go fishing for some ill-placed CTs towards B later on. Seems HooXi will be entertaining in that respect. 3 players heavily defending the B bomb site, so perhaps there's opportunity on A. Start to see 3 players closing in now as NiKo will stop and throw grenades soon enough. JKS with the opening frag, and tabseN's going to have a lot of work to do. Crimbo and Keto lost. Well, this one's collapsed very quickly indeed. G2 didn't have much to fight with here, but look what they've done.
Oh, it's a switch up from G2. We haven't really seen them commit to that A site in these gun rounds. And I feel like Crimbo commits to a position there that's just so wide and so out in the open. It was always going to be hard for him to fall back and play for time. Once he loses that first fight, it puts Big in a really precarious position. Nice adaptation here from G2, trying something slightly different. Big not ready to deal with it. shot from syrsoN on the exit. That's a shame for Big, because they were just starting to get into the mood. You could hear it after the previous round. And then the wind just gets taken out of your sails.
Started moving before firing the shot. I think the crosshair was on, but the accuracy was not. 3-round leads now for G2. What a way to come back. A few M4s stolen in that round. Now the awkwardness moves over to the big side, but their spread will be a little bit better than we saw from G2 in the last round. Question is, what can they do with it? They're very well equipped, in fact. The AWP coming out for Keto. Interested to see how he chooses to use that. Absent with some fast grenades. Fast grenades from both sides, actually. And Nico is Wing all the way. Great Molotovs from G2. Early issues in mid for Big. Now, how do they defend this area? Smokes are up. Look how fast it is for G2. They're going for a split of the A-bomb site immediately, and there's barely any response to be had by Big. They're in trouble. The MP9 not quite working out. tabseN will drop the bomb, but the trades are here. The numbers game being abused by G2 on the A-bomb site.
So much solid utility from G2 towards mid. Just gets them all that real estate. And it means that A site is incredibly vulnerable. If you can get that far up mid that quickly, it's not easy for the CTs to respond. m0NESY's had a little bit of a quiet start to the game, but not really needed in this round. It was his teammates, it was the pack players that made the difference in this one. And m0NESY will happily take an exit kill on top. This was a round where syrsoN was playing the B site with the AWP instead of mid. So maybe that has something to do with why that mid control was established so easily for G2. I think in future, syrsoN will definitely be switching up his spots. Sometimes will be playing towards mid. So that's where maybe he could have a chance to get an opening pick before all that aggression comes in. But looking pretty solid right now from G2. They've only played one official on Anubis back in December. Looks like they've done their homework, done their prep work on this map.
I think we saw double mollies in mid in that round, which will be interesting if the AWP chooses to stand and fight. There will be no backing down, forcing them to die on their sword. Smoke goes up, m0NESY now. Be hoping not to receive some more grenades coming his way.
It's the same setup from Big, but this time we get some B long aggression.
Ooh, that is a big chunk of damage on not one but two players with that HE grenade. You might see some blood as well. Now, Nico lurking there, what does that mean for the rest of the map in the eyes of Big? They have to know that their numbers that will be abused somewhere else. tabseN trying to stand and fight. He's seen the bomb, he's overperformed there. He's found two and he still has support. They have to rescue the bomb now. m0NESY's got so much to do. 3 players defending this bomb. He's looking for the first one. He did spot the second. I'm sure he saw a shoulder. How did he find more? Oh, he's going for a fast flick there, but down he goes. Nico with some nice taps, but that bomb still needs to be rescued regardless. JKS making his way into the bomb site, but he's going to have to go for a flank. And this is going to take some time.
JKS can be very good in these lurking positions, but Nico taken out on the other side. And that really limits JKS's opportunities here. Bomb firmly in Big's control. And I think JKS might realize this is too far gone. Massive round here from tabseN. He has been very involved early in this. You can see, actually, he's died in almost every round so far. But he is a really solid individual, and you've got to remember, he's the caller for Big. In-game leading for the team. Definitely a big benefit to have. That was just crispy aim, honestly. He even had Keto backing him up on mid, rotating from B, but he just didn't need it.
That was utterly crucial for Big, and with 2 men invested in the push on the B bomb site to get the information. Again, Nico so far back tells you that, all right, we're expecting numbers elsewhere. But he basically has to do it alone to secure those 2 frags there. And that is huge. Nico knows what opportunity they had. Definitely numbers to abuse there with that push that came in on B. Didn't work out for them, though. Individual performance holding the torch for Big in that round. We see a timeout from G2, which will soon elapse. Hard for these teams to secure their economy. G2 needs to figure out what they do now in round number 10.
Yeah, I think for G2, it's maybe been a bit of a quiet start from Nico. I'm only saying that because he was so strong in the first tournament of the year. His impact was incredible. And I really think Nico can be in the running for the best player of this tournament. Simple's not been in his best form. I want to see Nico showing up here. A slightly quiet start from him, but here's syrsoN again switching up his position. HooXi aware of the angle, and that's a fantastic pre-fire. And this A site is now under pressure.
They are moving in 2 versus 1 as tabseN has to do it again. Lucky to stay alive for now, forced to reposition. But how does he avoid the trade frag here? Can he find 2 again? He can! That's the bump spotted as well. Full rotation coming in. They need to get that planted fast. 3 versus 3, plenty of util for both sides as well. Crimbo's pretty close, as is Keto. How do they clear these positions, though? Nico is on the lurk. He needs his teammates to stay alive so he can play off of them. They need to be the bait so he can clutch the round here. Crimbo and Faven trying to move together, but look how awkward these angles are for all concerned. You can see the silencer barrel just buy time for Nico. They're lining up for him. Take a ticket. Just one serve, but maybe m0NESY will do the rest. Faven alone now, running out of bullets. Down to the USP Hunter, disengaging, and so will he.
Nico only gets 1 on the flank, but I think m0NESY deserves a lot of credit there. He is a player who really plays ahead of his years, and you see that in that round. He knows he doesn't need to fight. He knows if he can just survive and keep those big players in that choke point, Nico's flank is going to be devastating. And even if Nico only gets 1 kill, it's enough of a distraction to cause some chaos for Big, make it really difficult for them on the retake. And again, shout out to HooXi, man. That entry, fantastic. He's having more and more impact as an individual. Got God B chatting to the team. He's already on the Hall of Heroes from back in the day when he was a player.
So glad he came back to us. It wasn't the same without him.
Such a calming presence. But you know it's when he's got to be serious with his team too.
4-round lead for G2. Very back and forth affair so far. But the lion's share of the rounds are with the T side. syrsoN will be back with the AWP. Just 2 kills for him so far. Definitely being oppressed by the likes of G2. Heading towards the A-bomb site. So HooXi just about saw his arm as he was positioning in that round prior. Great peek with the Gilil afterwards. Hunter going to get some cheap information here as well. He knows tabseN's around a door somewhere. Faven having a look as well.
tabseN again positioned towards mid if this push were to come through. He's been Big's best player by far so far. It looks like G2 are keeping their options open, and they have switched it up recently. They've been starting to move towards this A site, and they've been finding that one entry that makes all the difference. You can see syrsoN here in a somewhat committed position. You may have the cover, but if you get mollied, you've got to be very careful here.
Now he can reposition, take a shot and fall back. Keep an eye on the shadows here. There we go. Slight warning for him. Makes things just a little easier. He knows one's gone past, chooses to stand his ground. Down he goes. Has he done enough? Has he bought enough time? Perhaps he has. We can see Crimbo's holding an off angle. Maybe he swings with his teammates. JKS considering his options with the weaponry on the floor around him. And Crimbo avoids the molly. Do they realize he did not spread as much as they were expecting? tabseN, a hard man to frag at the moment. m0NESY, the last one to fall now. Crimbo bided his time and was able to pull the last kill through. Big surviving with 4 players, much needed as well.
Much more solid A-site hold this time round. Even if syrsoN only gets a couple of kills, he also buys a good bit of time to make sure his team are in a good position. syrsoN is an AWPer who I feel like plays completely alone, almost more than any other AWPer I see. Big will sometimes just send him on T side, completely by himself. He's very comfortable playing solo. which I think is a nice asset to have for Big.
Watch his demos, guys. Great AWPer to watch demos of. syrsoN really has the hardest job in the server at the moment, and he has delivered time after time. Again, G2 trying to make a fast play. We've got mollies flying in from all kinds of angles. Now, what is the next move for G2? They've taken mid control. Half of it smoked off, though, and again, syrsoN will be baited by Nico. The traders here, and that gives the real estate away. Crimbo's got so much to do. They're coming in from 2 angles, and he's only good for 1. Faven's quite close. Hooksy's dropped. That's huge for the map control. The bomb's not planted just yet, so there are issues here for G2. JKS holding the high ground now. Swinging. Faven entertaining, running out of bullets, though. The transfer. Oh, no, never mind. That's Monacy. 1v1 now. JKS low versus syrsoN with the AWP just jiggling, looking for the information. I think he's found it now. 20 HP, JKS. syrsoN continues to move forward. JKS has fallen back completely. Oh, the molly might just be enough. What does JKS do? He's gone through it just in time. syrsoN may have no idea. Now he knows the USP could be enough if he can find him. He's being so patient, but he's got to get back to the bomb in time. Oh, he's just about found it. He almost ran past it. Will he have the time, though? I think he will. There we go. Down to the last player.
So calm from syrsoN there. I'd have definitely rushed that. But he just knows he's got enough time. He makes sure that he doesn't overextend, especially when JKS is desperately spamming that smoke. You can just sneak up on him and get that freebie. Again, not a bad call from G2. They're getting into decent post plants. But I think it was the rotate arriving from Big just in time that made an all-important difference in that round. G2 down to pistols again. Big have been pushed to the limit in a lot of these rounds, but they're just doing enough to hold on. And now they'll finally see the reward of that against this weakened buy from G2.
These fast plays up mid are really interesting. G2 definitely putting Big in a difficult situation. Ooh. syrsoN is doing really well, all things considered in that regard. Desert Eagles for G2. See if they're able to do any damage or more. None of them have the bomb at present. But they'll be waiting around for a while now with these smokes up. Or will they? Okay, all right, syrsoN. Very good, very good. Just going for damage now, I think. Okay, the bomb has been collected, actually. And with all the action on B, maybe there is a timing to perhaps get a 1v1 on A.
Got to rely on JKS landing some stunning shots if they want that to happen.
Got to press QQ, keep the deagle fresh.
Saw JKS get the ace in the pistol. So he has been showing his form, but not this time. Ooh, Nico getting involved on the deeg. Said earlier, he's definitely got a damn good deeg on him. Ooh, almost another opportunity, but there's no time here. Really needs to make sure he dies so that he gets that losing bonus. And that will come through. Big recovering well right now on Anubis. Looks like this map pick has got some sauce behind it.
Just a few rounds left in this first half. We'll see who leads at halftime. The AKs are coming out for G2. All M4s for Big. We're enjoying the luxury of the AKs earlier on, but it really is a war of attrition from round to round here. Now, what kind of pace will G2 try to set with their utility? 4 smoke grenades for the 5 players. syrsoN getting very cheeky indeed in the mid position now. Have a go, hero, you might say. Slight gap in the smoke as well, just inviting somebody to make a mistake. It'd be fun to see what he does in the T side as well. Yeah, absolutely.
The T side from syrsoN is wild sometimes with some of the solo plays he makes. Seeing this default from G2, Nico is very often playing towards B long. And I think in a lot of the recent rounds, he hasn't been able to get as involved because of that. But in this round, it looks like G2 are grouping up in the mid round. And in the recent rounds, G2 have been loving this A site. They're going back here again, and this time it's Crimbo with the rifle on the site, and he did have a hard time holding this previously.
He could have help soon because there are 2 players in mid. He drops the first one. They're starting to shoulder peek now. A little jiggling from G2, stuck in the choke point. And now syrsoN will see 3 and take 1 down. syrsoN's here as well. Keto for the last one. A nice cleanup from Big. Had 2 plays in mid at the right time for the faster rotation. Saved the day on A.
Yeah, Big are keeping this mid control much more effectively now. And the site anchors have got some good utility timings. You saw there, the smoke was up. And G2, they'd already used a lot of their utility into the site. They just didn't really have the flashes into the site that made the difference. You saw Crimbo was still able to get a kill while blind, and then all those rotating players come through. Last round of the half, Big with a great chance to take the lead here against the low buy, and syrsoN's already got the opener. Oh,
Make it 2. Wow, this is collapsing very quickly indeed. Crimbo, that's an impressive smoke. When they really need some timing, well, they found a gap through the smoke now. They've got to commit to this. They have to gamble. They don't really have the choices left. tabseN's going to eat the flashbang big time. He has no idea where he is. But the cavalry is here already. Faven and syrsoN posted up, looking for the double pick. This time he misses, but Faven's here to clean up. And that will be a 1-round lead for Big. A recovery after losing some rounds early. Very close at halftime. We'll see if anybody pulls away after the break. It couldn't be closer at half-time. Big lead by 1. 8-7 over G2 in the first half pistol. JKS found himself an ace. I don't know what to expect of this half, let alone this pistol round as well.
Yeah, Big closing out the half with 5 rounds in a row to come in with the lead. And from G2, we haven't really seen their stars show up so far. Considering we haven't seen Nico and m0NESY hitting the level we know they can, it's not a bad half from G2, but I'd like to see more from their star players heading into this CT side.
Some grenades offered towards B.
This might have to be a retake setup on B. Hunter here alone, he has the kit. He might just play for a single frag.
Yep, they have a smoke and 2 flashes. No defuse kit though on G2. They will have to disengage for now. Bomb planted. What is your play, G2? Does Hunter go for a smoke on the bomb? Surely not. Let's see what they do. m0NESY starting to move forward, clearing bit by bit. Edging ever closer to the site. When do the shots start rattling off though? Haven't seen much just yet. Flashes are in, and m0NESY is out. JKS trying to swing, but tabseN has the angles. Seems like Big have got themselves a crossfire. What? They're both running out of bullets. Even the Glock syrsoN trying to just hide his butt in the corner, and he'll be able to do that, surviving with 2 HP, and Big make it to 9.
I love the reaction from God B, almost looking over, I assume at Nico, and saying, "What are you doing, mate? How do you not get that kill?" And G2 are feeling it right now. You can see it on their faces. 6 rounds in a row for Big. They are starting to believe that this Anubis pick could be the answer for them in this series.
And you can see what it means to them, because I couldn't tell you the last time they took a map off of G2, and they feel like they can do it here. Their body language tells you that. They've gone for a force buy though, G2. Nico Deagle alert. Hunter on the CZ. Love to see me a CZ these days. Used to hate its gut, but there goes the scout in the hands of HooXi. Landed a headshot on tabseN though. And there is a rifle to be collected by syrsoN, surely. Indeed, he will collect it, drop the MAC-10 on the floor. Hunter may be considering going a bit further forward as noise has been cut. Plenty of time for Big to wait, however. There's a quick look. His back is not covered, so he needs to consider his options here.
Kovac cousins together on the B-bomb site now. Nico arriving to help Hunter out. And he'll get that scout into his hands. I almost want him to stick with the Deeg, though.
Agree.
Yeah, he knows. He's feeling it.
He's found a second smoke grenade as well. Let's bear in mind the time on the clock here. As long as they can keep dark, he could put Big into a really bad situation. Very forward smoke as well, putting himself at maximum advantage. So they are slowly edging away, but there are still 2 players on A very forward, so they can get that early info potentially and really play the time. Big could be in trouble. I am very concerned with this clock. They're moving through mid, though. They could go anywhere at this point.
That'll be interesting to see where they end up in this one. 23 seconds. It's got to be a solid site take. m0NESY. Oh, so quick on the first shot. And now he's going to reposition. Where's the bomb going? 10 seconds. It's going nowhere.
There's no good option for them. I think they might be giving up on this one. What a disaster. That second smoke grenade from Nico, the presence of mind, the awareness, absolutely ruin the timing. And that will be a false step for Big. They'll try to not give up too many more rifles.
There we go. There we go.
Give it.
Where are you at, Gob?
Yeah, he's hiding. He's trying to hide.
Hiding behind the admin.
He's waiting for the glass to go back up again.
Oh, man. m0NESY's so quick, man. That's the perfect angle to have m0NESY on because his reactions are very fast. He's always going to get a shot off at a minimum, even if he isn't always 100% accurate. And now for Big, Faven's got an AK, the rest of the team not with a great deal to work with, and the utility is not great here for Big. That's a bit of a shame. That could be an issue for them on their mid-take. They've beaten the smoke, though. Nico.
There you go. Sound cues.
Oh, no.
I'd like to understand that they were on his left there. Now we have some problems. Opportunity for Big. As you can see, they're trying to swarm with these numbers. Slowed down somewhat. The utility will certainly help as well. How about that timing for a smoke? Separating the players through the smoke. They go into the waiting hands of JKS, who just adds to his tally. 17 kills for the man now. Just one shy of tabseN. Strong response for G2 there.
Savagery on the server from JKS. Stopping them in their tracks. You can see the ability for these teams on CT side to have the quick response to mid. It is quite a dynamic position on the map. G2 had a nice response in that one. So looking good for G2 to get themselves back into the lead. I like to think that Big always have some sort of sneaky strat in mind. They are that kind of team that nerds out. But I don't know if they're practicing for 5 Glock rounds, to be honest. There you go, Nico.
Perfect warm-up for him. That's the man you want delivering those kind of kills. Exquisite with the M4A4. I pretty much stayed with that the entire time everybody was using a silencer, and now I've switched because I can't shoot anymore. So I need the quietness so I can try and fix stuff.
You're that guy.
I'm incompetent on the server these days. 10-9.
Wow. Big had enough money to get AKs here, but they wouldn't have had the full utility. So it looks like they're actually going with the Tech 9s instead. This allows good utility in this round and a great buy coming up. But we've also got to see what these pistols can do. I'll be surprised if their utility will allow them to get some fast plays off.
tabseN just did a marathon with that Molotov.
Yeah, it's a long lineup.
And let's not forget the plays we saw from G2 through that mid position on the T side. We're waiting to see what executes Big may have built since they were last on Anubis.
JKS has got to know this is coming. They've pushed all the way out through A. Needs to be ready on this B site. And now he's got Hunter here to help.
Still unknown about mid,
Nice,
because Nico's had to go so far back, but they will start to stream in. Now the flashbang is perfect though, but JKS will avoid it. He will be traded, however. Hunter having to fall back now. He's at smoke as a wall, but Nico is here as well. That means bad news for Big. Bomb dropped, and now syrsoN is alone. No bomb plant coming his way. Instant trade. They've got 2 frags on their half-buy, but no bomb plants.
Solid round from G2. I think you see the value Hunter brings to the team there. He's just very reliable, and I think very happy to fill in and rotate around the map. Just gets the 1 kill and makes sure that he then comes into play once his teammates arrive. See Nico getting activated. The smoke landing in the molly was a bit of a shame for Big. It gave that little gap that Nico was able to work with. But this is what Big saved for. They wanted the full buy for a reason. Oh, m0NESY almost getting that early pick. But he's going to have to come back now because this boost is against him. syrsoN, a little lucky to get out of there alive.
I love the aggression this map encourages. Wild plays from both sides, full confidence. Minute 30 on the clock. HooXi, if he continues, could find himself at a bad angle. Sound cues for the opponent as well, but no surprise to find a CT there. They don't know it's a sniper. They may soon find out. Indeed, they do. Down goes Keto, opening frag in around 1 minute 10 on the clock. Still Big around this bomb site, pushing through the smoke, no less. Hold on a second. Can he find anything else, Favon? There are more CTs here, and he's gone even further. He's flanking them. They've got no idea. HooXi's dropped as well. And m0NESY will trade. Somehow G2 have a man advantage. Bomb being collected, but Crimbo just about finds Nico in no man's land. There's action everywhere.
And there's still time for Big. They don't have to commit to that B site. If I were G2, I would be thinking that was a guaranteed B play with how deep Favon was, with all the utility. But now Big have that opportunity to slow things down. They're not going to A, though. They're coming back to B. They're about to walk into both of these CTs.
The trades. Can he bait the shot from m0NESY, Crimbo? He has to bait the shot. The molly! The molly! The molly and the bullet, they'll combine and do enough damage. Rescues the AWP as well. These rounds are so unpredictable, and there's so many more to come.
That is such a weird 2v2. How often do you see that in a 2v2, where they both just end up running at each other as a tag team? Favon did a fantastic job here, sneaking all the way into the B site. He caused a lot of the chaos early.
These rounds are on a knife edge. Absolutely crazy stuff that we are seeing. G2 with a thin lead at present. They haven't bought anything just yet, but they've got plenty of money for now. Timeout has come and gone by Big. Now let's see what these guys have to offer. Big are going to have to spread their money carefully. They may be a little short here. in terms of utility. They will go for Galil, so they're able to do their executes. They've always got the nerd smokes as well. I do wonder if there was something deliberate there for Favin to creep through into the bomb site. G2 will definitely wonder that themselves. So we'll find out, as there's plenty of action to come. syrsoN again heading towards that mid position.
Not going for the double AWP setup this time on G2. They decide that reinvestment would be too large. Now m0NESY's falls back on mid. Oh, and he looks away at just the wrong time. syrsoN with the confident wide swing. Here's some B long aggression from G2. This is something they like to do pretty often on their CT side. They'll get a bit of information, and they might use that to try and take a risk. See if they can stack elsewhere. See if that information will be wise for them, or if it will betray them. They're actually leaving the B site wide open. This is a big gamble from G2, but the info play might have paid off. They've got so many players ready in position towards A, but Big remain undecided. Ooh, syrsoN on a tight angle again. Not able to get the opener. Now G2, I think, are realizing they need to send some players back to B. It's a no-scope!
And he knows there's a second one there, which means the rest of his team are in a 4 versus 2 wherever they choose to go, if he can keep that guy in the mid position. Instant confidence now for Big as G2 try to defend. Down goes Hunter. The numbers are here. JKS has got so much to do. Overwhelming, though. They just keep coming. And now the score is tied.
Oh, Nico must be so frustrated. syrsoN was taking so many pot shots at mid. You feel like you've got him. But syrsoN able to adjust, and then Big, despite running towards the stack, just win so many of those fights. They're so quick to trade off the back of each other. And again, this is syrsoN completely alone, kind of what I was talking about. It's so wild to me that they can just put him in those positions and he stays comfortable.
Man like syrsoN, using the AWP as a golf club at short range. Looks like it could be a fast one. And you can see on the radar that G2 are on somewhat of an expedition. But Big they should go into this with good timing, although the last man may get caught. Oh, be careful. There's the bomb carrier. You can't stand it. You've got to fall back, syrsoN. You've got the bomb. Keto can pick up the slack. Don't run out of bullets, though. 2 men to support now. Position is secure. So Big on the way to taking the lead over G2. But I don't think anything is guaranteed in this map of Anubis between these two teams. They would love to finally take a map off of G2.
And there is something to the fact that Big played in that play-in. I feel like G2 are not at their best right now at the start of this map. They don't look like they're fully warmed up. I would normally expect to see a couple of rounds where Nico just kind of wins around by himself. I would normally expect to see some crazy shots from m0NESY. Both of those players with a negative KD right now. It's actually JKS who's been topping the charts for G2. tabseN's had so much impact for Big. I mean, throughout that CT side, he was instrumental in mid. Big part of why they have a 12-1 lead here. Now, G2 will have a buy of sorts in this round. I'm definitely keeping an eye on Big's buy as well, though, because you can see Favin has decided to stick with that MAC-10, even though they have money for an AK. So maybe this is a round where we see something slightly faster.
Is it a faster play through mid, or is it a lurk play through a smoke somewhere?
They might even go for a just full-on site execute. I feel like they haven't really run those. The previous round they did, but in the gun rounds, maybe an early B-site play could be something that catches G2 off guard right now.
Well, they're all facing the same way, Big, and they're all running the same way as well. So you might be right in that respect. Heading straight towards the B-bomb site. Flashbangs lined up already. m0NESY is going to say hello to Favin. That's an early warning system! m0NESY, what are you doing? He's surely done enough. Hunter taking angles now. Down goes Crimbo. The bomb's fully committed. They are getting utterly deleted. m0NESY, right play, right time, right player as well. syrsoN in a 1 versus 4. And Hunter's going to come through. Shotgun mode, not going to work this time. m0NESY, where does that second frag come from? That's the m0NESY space program for Big right there. They got launched into space. My God.
That's why people love to watch m0NESY, man. He's got some of the fastest flicks in the West. Oh. And it's a round where G2 actually start with 3 on B. They haven't had too many setups like that. But they get one at the right time, and look at what it means for Big. A half buy in this round. Just the one AK picked up. m0NESY's here again!
Missed the first one and the second one. This time it won't work out, but the lineup for syrsoN and Hunter will certainly help. The MAC-10 running out of bullets, down to the clock now. Shotgun mode for syrsoN, the flick for syrsoN. Another hold. That's a great confidence boost for G2 as well. We've seen the frustration that they've had in rounds prior. 2 rounds, 2 fast rounds like that, and suddenly they're in the lead.
syrsoN takes a look at the m0NESY play from the previous round and says, you know what? I'm going to do that too, but I'm going to do it better. Quad kill on the AWP for syrsoN. Love to see that. The secondary AWP having huge impact on the hold. It's so funny how you just get a repeat of the previous round, and this time, m0NESY can't hit either shot. But it's still good enough for G2, and now we get some early mid-aggression. That nade is on the money.
Smell you later, Kiso. Great combo with the flash. G2 in the driving seat. Sending Big through the windshield in the last 2 rounds. Let's see what JKS's timing is like. There is a 2-man setup here, so he may not jiggle peek at all. Hello, says Crimbo. JKS not making a play just yet. His timing is absolutely perfect. Big are falling to pieces now. They are broke if they lose this round. 2 versus 5, they probably will. Is this the beginning of the end of the road? No answer to that. Can't really pick up the bomb either. That will give his position away. Late resurgence from G2 on Anubis, just when you thought it was safe for Big to take a map off of G2. Things are dramatically different now.
Yeah, you can see the comfort coming back for G2. Nico happy to go for that mid-aggression off the back of the smoke. Maybe that's a play you don't make if you've been losing a few more rounds. And that B setup was lovely. I love that m0NESY rotates over in time to help JKS in that position. Because I feel like JKS, when you're playing that spot, he kind of wants someone else to take first contact. And then you see JKS's swing was timed with the molly of m0NESY. So if there is someone in that position, they're going to be running away from the molly, and JKS is going to have a field day. And Favn, uh-oh, they're hunting. Oh, it's after time. Favn with a little less money than everyone else, but honestly, it doesn't even make a massive difference. Everyone on Big is broke.
Timeout from Big. They have $2,500-ish, and G2 are 1 round away from game point on the pick that Big were expecting to win. And it felt like Big maybe were closer to the victory on for a fair amount of time. Let's not forget that run towards the end of the last half. The beginning of this one feels like an eon away with the rounds we've recently seen from G2.
You can't even invest much here for Big with your loss bonus if you want a full buy in what could be your last round when you're facing 15. I think we'll see a little investment into some nades and pistols, but not a great deal else.
This pick has felt slightly uncomfortable for G2. So if they win this, just like the sheer confidence for the rest of the series as well, doesn't bode well for Big.
I'm glad to see Big try and test G2's map pool on some of their slightly less comfortable maps, but G2 have just done enough right here, and they're starting to have some of their players show up when needed. Look at this from Hunter. Very far forward. m0NESY is the man right now, though. Farming frags. Finally misses one opportunity. This is another, but I think he will be fine. He's got the assistance, and G2 have that 15th round. Big putting up a good fight, but they need Throw required for overtime. At least they saved enough money to have a goodbye here, though. I think I heard Hooksy there suggesting something to the team.
One Galil out, one sacrifice for the grenades for Big. Well then, they need 3 in a row. Otherwise, the experiment has failed, and it's back to the drawing board versus G2. Double AWPs are out. Hooksy, he's had the flicks today. This will be a dangerous one. Nico lurking in the mid position. No sprays coming from Big just yet. They've got to be real careful now.
Yeah, I'm glad it's a slower start here from Big. You've got to get rid of Nico in this position, but the flash is fantastic. Keto able to trade one back. So not a bad start here for Big. They've still got to deal with JKS if they want to move into mid.
Keto on the ropes, 22 HP with the bomb. Hasn't jumped off just yet, though. Now forced back to the rest of the team. Who knows what lies for him below. 1 minute on the clock. 2 CTs per site, more or less. Quick rotation to get a second one on A. And m0NESY has a very forward angle. Wherever Big go, the first man in's probably going to fall. Although, as we can see on the radar, a third player has headed towards the A bomb site. Hunter is alone, focusing on long B. But Hooksy's made his way back.
Hunter can now fully focus on Sewer. Incendiary well timed here, 23 seconds, and Big have just used some nades of their own. It's a 3B stack for G2 now.
That timing is absolutely impeccable. Mollies are up, but so are the angles for G2. The spread is here. There is a team kill. Keto is low, and that's going to be that. G2 survive the test, and they take Anubis.
Solid stuff here from G2. They didn't look at their best, but they grind out a win on Big's map pick. And now they have an excellent opportunity to take this series 2-0. It's Inferno coming up next, but first, we'll get the thoughts of the desk.